What's up, everybody? I'm a guy with a mustache. You might know me from some of my tier lists, but I am also pretty good at the video games. So I've been wanting to make a movement guide for a very long amount of time, and I started recording some footage for it last night, and then Deathy put out a video, so I'm going to expand a little bit more on what they said, and just kind of do a little bit of a rollout guide. It's not going to be exactly a guide, but what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of go around the map and do some rollouts, and just show you some common rollout spots that us Eternus players use very commonly. So before we get into the rollouts, I just want to cover some common things. And before I cover anything, I just want to say the best part about movement in this game is the creativity and freedom that you have. It is just being able to chain movement techniques into each other to move around the map however you please and go exactly where you want. That is the best part of moving around this map.
If you need more
And I am going to have
you know where to find me.
Majestic Leap in all of these clips just to get across the map quicker. That is all it is. I'm not using it in any of these rollouts. You can tell because I'll go. And it gets really loud. Really loud. Next thing that we need to cover is air strafing, deadlock. Deathy went over it a little bit in his video, a lot better than I can ever explain. But air strafing is essentially just pointing your camera in a direction and holding that movement key so that you can turn that way. So it is very important to do that off of vents because, yeah, you have very much a lot of air control and are able to kind of turn your direction a lot. The next thing that we need to talk about is how doing an input besides WASD interact with an air vent. First up, we'll talk about jumping. Jumping immediately after eats up your upward velocity and makes you drop really far downwards. Similar in that vein, jumping late also gives you a little bit extra burst movement that lets you go a little bit further from the vent. So then, in comparison to going dead straight, I'm sorry if you guys hear my dog. In comparison to going dead straight, we land here. Whereas if I jump as I'm falling down, I end up going over this bridge. Next up, we have dashing. And dashing early allows you to move your direction very quickly to end up heading all the way around and down other places that definitely you would not be able to normally go to from air vents. And this is a very common route. You'll see me do this a lot if you ever tune into my stream. I love going down through the sewers. It's very hard to chase unless people know how to move. Because you can do all of that I just did with 0 stamina after you end up sliding down either this staircase or the other staircase that's behind here. Now, dashing late is very similar to jumping late. It's a burst of movement in another direction. Very good to know that. And now we have down dashing. Down dashing early is really the only useful one, except on there are other vents that it is pretty useful on. Like this one, down dashing late can get you down to mid boss. It's also achievable by down dashing early, but down dashing early is a little bit more predictable, whereas down dashing late is a little bit less. Now, how could I cover vents without talking about vent boosting? This is a very important mechanic that, if you guys do not know, was very much popularized by Murphy with an X. I don't know if he prefers to go by Murphy or Mixfer or whatever. I don't know. Very awesome content. But vent boosting, all it is wall jumping as you're hitting this vent in specific on both sides of the map. Now, you can see, I messed it up there, so it's just a jump afterwards, so that ended up sending me this way. Whereas if I hit it, it's hard to hit on this one right now because the fucking mantle is bugged right there. I was hitting it consistently earlier, but maybe I just put a clip of this over my voice and make it a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. And I'm not going to go through every route with this, but just know that you get a lot of horizontal momentum that you can use to chain into a lot of movement options and end up all the way across the map. It is possible on specifically 3 vents. the vent you just saw me do it from, this vent over here, and this vent over here. Now, they say you can do it on this vent, but I don't see how the hell you would do it. I just don't. Besides for the vents, things that you're going to see me do off of the zip lines is crouching off the zip line to keep a lot of horizontal momentum to end up doing stuff like that. Or you can punch this, or you can do it to continue your movement up here. Hit like the wall jump thing. You can go over this if you do it right. I don't know how to do it right. But yeah, just crouching off the zip line or vice versa, jumping off the zip line eats a little bit of your momentum, but allows you to get to higher up places than dashing would allow you. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't have anything else to say. I'm just gonna turn up my music and just move around the map for a little while. if you've been paying close attention, which you probably haven't, this is probably just background noise, and I fuck with you. Thank you for using this as amazing background noise. Turn down the game volume just a tad. If you've been paying attention, I use a lot of the same routes on a lot of these air vents because these three in specific all kind of have the same angle, so it's kind of hard not to use them. So, you know, even on this one, like, it's just closer to these, and if I had stamina, I could get up there. And off this one, I use the same thing, and then the map is mirrored, so, you know, you can do very, very similar things on both sides of the maps. So, like what I was saying about creativity before, is it's just like, just remembering how things work and using them to your advantage. That was supposed to be a wall jump, but, like, it's whatever. If you mantle instead of wall jumping, you can still make it work. If you double jump instead of wall jumping, you're probably fucked, but you can still make it work. Like, there is nothing stopping you from making all of these rollouts work. But that was the vent section. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't do this side.
I am the bright light's dark shadow.
Yeah, I didn't do these ones over here, which this is the same as the other side. It has the same rollouts as the other side, so there's no need to redo that one. But this one actually does have slightly different rollouts because you have, like, more freedom this way. You can use this to get back to base. But this one does have slightly different lines than the other one, especially because this roof over here exists. And now, if you're a decent amount of HP, you should be abusing the lightning spikes in your rollouts, as you see me do for some of them, because they are very hard to chase. Like, just ending up here to use as an escape option is very, very strong. Next up, we are going to be looking at the zipline rollouts. We are going to, once again, just mute up, turn up some music, and let the vibes roll. Alright. Let's get... Wait, I forgot. Vent boosting. There are three things that will change how your rollouts work, no matter if they're vent rollouts, regular rollouts, or zipline rollouts. You are going to want to notice if you have zipline speed boost, movement buff, or stamina mastery. These are very, very... These are very important things that you need to take note of because they will change out how your rollouts will work. So, zipline speed boost will change how your zipline speed, or your zipline rollouts work, rather. And same with movement buff, and then stamina mastery will change how all of your rollouts work. Also, this is a pretty cool thing. This hasn't been explored yet, but because you get more speed going, like, down the hill on the blue zip line, like, once you come here, you get a lot of speed going down now. Connecting to the zip line at specifically there, I've noticed gives you a lot of rollout potential. Which I don't know how much faster it is if you hit good movement there. Could be something worth exploring. Because if you guys didn't know, this is probably the most common rollout in the game, is the blue rollout. Using a dash and a jump to get here, it saves like a fraction of a second, but it still works. And the second most common is probably this one. You're supposed to edge boost off that, but I suck at edge boosting apparently, so... Yep. Alright. That's it for me again. Back to muting up. most of the movement that you do in this game in between rotations is either to get to a vent or off of a vent. So using the zip lines to get to a vent or whatever is very important for rotations. Vents and zip lines are the core of everything. I said this at the start, they are the core of everything. So when you're using your movement to rotate, try and look for lines that end up at a vent or a zip line. Or, you know, both is awesome. If I was on the right team, I could have grabbed that and did a little extension. But, I mean, like, there are so many ways that you can use the map in this game. You just need to experiment. And the movement is so much fun. And I didn't even start talking about items. We have Majestic Leap, which is a very fun item. We have Warp Stone. If you guys don't know about Warp Stone dashing, you get an entire boost of movement forward. That's very good. And then Stamina Mastery is just an entirely different ball game where you can do a lot cooler movement with Stamina Mastery because of how much further your air dashes take you. But sometimes, like, you've seen me do this line a few times where I go this way and then I dash here or whatever, and then I end up going under, except that wall exists. But sometimes Stamina Mastery ends up messing with you because of your additional air dash distance and your additional air jump distance. So it's just knowing where you can go and how you can do it. And yeah, I mean, as I said at the start, just be creative. Please continue to explore movement in this game. It is by far the best part of this video game, is being able to move so freely. I've been playing a ton of Celeste recently, and boy, Celeste movement is an entire different ballgame. If you guys want to see a video that is specifically, oh my, shut the fuck up, Celeste. A video that is specifically like Celeste rollouts and how they work, I am so down to do that, because she has entirely different kit when it comes to movement, and it is very important to know how she works. So if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know down in the comments below, and let me know if you enjoy this slightly less sloppy, slightly like more vibey kind of video where it's just like music on in the background when I talk about something for a little while and then show you how it's done for a very long time. Because I can do this with so many things besides movement. I can do this with like builds and shit. I don't know. Just let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate you. Once again, I am Guy with a Mustache, or Guam on the leaderboard, rank 592, baby. I haven't played in a few days, but we will be getting back onto the grind tonight to try and push for a turn of 6. I have a very, very nice video coming out once I hit a turn of 6, because you guys want to see something? This was originally an alt account, so all alt accounts place low, and I will apologize for this. I did throw a few games with some of my friends. I mean, I didn't necessarily throw them. Like, I wasn't trying, of course, but me and my buddies, they were getting into the game, so I didn't want to accidentally place their accounts too high. So when we were just playing, I didn't try too hard. And then, you know, once I started playing on the account by myself, I started trying and whatnot. So this account did place into like the bottom 3 ranks, one of the bottom 3 ranks, and now it's on the leaderboard. So I want to do a video that is how I went from the bottoms, the second rank, I think it's called Seeker, like how I went from Initiate to Eternus 6, how I took an account from Eternus, or Initiate to Eternus 6, and it could be like a very interesting video. Unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay from back then, but I'm sure I can figure something out. Anyways, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoy the tier lists I've been putting out. I have been working very, very hard on them. Speaking of which, go and check them out. There's going to be one popping up on my left and on my right. On my right's actually going to be the subscribe tab, so you should do that too. Yeah. I mean, thank you guys for watching. That's really all I can say. I forgot to say peace. Peace.